It's a quiet autumn evening in a suburban neighborhood. Deon, a 16-year-old black teenager, is walking home from basketball practice. He's a quiet kid, well-liked but often misunderstood. Deon is lost in his thoughts about an upcoming game when he notices something unusual. A white SUV parked awkwardly on the side of the road, hazard lights blinking.
That's odd.
As he gets closer, he sees a visibly pregnant white woman, Karen, struggling to bend over to check her tire. Her face is flushed with frustration and discomfort. Instinctively, Deon decides to help.
Hey, miss, do you need some help?
He asks, keeping his distance to avoid startling her. Karen, who looks to be in her mid-30s, gives a relieved but tired smile.
Oh, thank God, I didn't expect this to happen today. I think I've got a flat, and I really need to get home.
Deon walks over to inspect the tire. Sure enough, it's flat, and she doesn't seem to have the tools to fix it. Karen mentions that her husband is out of town and she's been trying to reach him. Deon offers to help change the tire with tools from his own house just a few blocks away. He runs home, grabs the jack and spare tire, and returns to help her. She watches gratefully as Deon works, feeling an unexpected connection with this young boy. After the tire is fixed, Karen thanks him profusely, even offering him some money, but Deon declines politely.
It's just the right thing to do.
As she drives away, Deon feels good about helping someone, unaware that this innocent act is about to turn his world upside down. But before we continue with the story, please tell us where you are watching from in the comments. The next morning, Deon is woken up early by a loud knock at the door. His mother answers, and standing outside are two police officers. They ask if Deon is home. Puzzled, Deon comes downstairs, his heart racing.
We need to ask you some questions.
One officer says, his tone calm but unsettling. They explain that Karen, the woman Deon helped the previous night, was found at the hospital, beaten, and claiming her baby is in distress. She identified Deon as the last person she was with. Deon's heart sinks. His mother looks shocked but defensive.
My son didn't hurt anyone,
she says firmly. But the police ask Deon to come down to the station for more questioning. At the station, the nightmare begins. Karen's story is twisted. She claims Deon had been acting strange, following her, and eventually attacked her after offering to help.
No, I didn't do anything wrong. I was just trying to help her.
Deon, confused and terrified, tries to explain the truth, but the officers seem skeptical, their questions becoming increasingly aggressive.
Did you touch her? Did she say no?
Deon's mind races. He tries to stay calm, knowing that the truth is on his side. But the officers are already treating him like a criminal. His words fall on deaf ears. Word of the incident spreads quickly through the town. The local news picks up the story, showing a picture of Karen in the hospital, her face bruised. There's no mention of Deon's help, just rumors of an attack by a teenage boy.
Why is everyone looking at me like that?
As the only black family in the neighborhood, Deon and his family become instant targets. At school, people whisper about him, his friends avoid him, even his basketball coach pulls him aside.
Maybe you should sit out the next game, until this blows over.
It doesn't help that Karen's husband Greg has posted online, furious and vowing to get justice for his wife. Greg's posts are filled with subtle and sometimes overt racist undertones, suggesting that Deon's presence on that street was no coincidence.
This isn't fair, they don't even know what happened.
Deon feels helpless. He knows the truth, but the more the story spreads, the harder it is for anyone to believe him. Even some of his teachers seem wary of him now, looking at him with doubt instead of the respect he once earned. Days pass, and things escalate. Deon's house is vandalized with spray-painted slurs. His family is bombarded with threatening messages online, and his mother is terrified.
We can't stay here, Deon. It's not safe.
Meanwhile, Deon is suspended from school while the investigation continues, even though no charges have been formally filed.
But I didn't do anything wrong. Why won't anyone listen?
The weight of the accusations and the community's reaction bear down on Deon and his family, leaving them feeling isolated and desperate for justice. One night, Deon is walking home from a nearby convenience store when he's ambushed by a group of men led by Greg. They corner him, spouting hateful accusations.
You think you can touch my wife and get away with it?
Greg sneers. The men beat him mercilessly, leaving him bloodied and broken on the ground. Before they leave, one of them spits out,
We don't need your kind around here.
Deon is left in the street, gasping for air, a deep fear settling into his bones. He realizes that no matter what he says or does, the truth may never come out. In this town, in this world, He's already been convicted in the eyes of those who hold the power. But just as the men disappear into the shadows, a set of headlights pierces the dark. A car screeches to a stop, and Deon hears footsteps running toward him. It's Karen, the woman whose life he had helped just days before. She kneels beside him, her face pale with shock and regret. Deon can barely speak, but Karen is already dialing 911, calling for an ambulance. She stays with him until help arrives, refusing to leave his side. When the paramedics come, they carefully lift Deon into the ambulance, and Karen follows, her hands shaking as she texts her husband Greg. "I'm so sorry, this is my fault."
I know the truth now. You lied to me. It wasn't Deon.
The next day, Karen goes to the police and recounts the full story. She admits that in her panic, she had misinterpreted Deon's presence, and that Greg had manipulated her fear to spread lies.
I discovered messages Greg exchanged with friends, bragging about teaching that kid a lesson.
With Karen's testimony and the mounting evidence against Greg and his group, the police launch a full investigation.
Greg is arrested for assault and Deon is exonerated.
As the truth comes out, the town is forced to confront its biases. News outlets that had once spread sensationalized rumors issue public apologies, and Deon's story shifts from one of suspicion to one of resilience. His school reinstates him, and the community rallies around him and his family, organizing events that promote unity and healing. In the end, Deon walks through the streets of his neighborhood, no longer burdened by the weight of false accusations. He has become a symbol of strength and integrity, reminding the town that appearances can be deceiving and that assumptions, fueled by prejudice, can destroy lives. The twist reveals how easily truth can be distorted by fear and hate, but it also shows the power of individuals like Karen, who find the courage to correct their wrongs. The moral of the story is clear. Truth, even delayed, has the strength to heal wounds caused by ignorance. In a world quick to judge, we must choose empathy and understanding over fear and division. Thanks for watching Divided Realities. If you're ready for more eye-opening stories that uncover the hidden truths of our world, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on all notifications. Don't miss out on the next video, it's one you won't want to miss.